Hello, welcome to this webinar entitled High School Success, It's Not an Option. My name is Tara App, and I am the Department Head of Student Services at Holy Trinity Academy in Okotoks, Alberta. We have been running the High School Success program for the past 4 years. At this time, I'd like to thank Els for Autism for funding this amazing program that has truly made a difference in the lives of students as well as families. So we will get started. So a little bit about myself. I received my Bachelor of Education with a double major in special education many years ago. So I have 31 years of teaching experience, with the majority of those years in the special education field. I did teach in the regular classroom for a few years, just to ensure that I could be a true support to teachers and know exactly what they were going through. So, as I said, I run the Student Services Department at Holy Trinity Academy. I am blessed to have 9 amazing educational assistants. We are a truly mainstream high school, true 100% inclusive education. Just as a side, just to stay current, I've attended a few amazing conferences. I've been to the National Autism Conference when it was in Providence, Rhode Island. I've been to some brain research conferences, the last one being in San Francisco. I attempt to attend the Alberta Special Ed Council and Conference, which is a yearly conference in Alberta. Other things I've done is I've actually been seconded by the Alberta Education to be on a couple panels, and at that point I was definitely there with supporting kids on the spectrum. Okay, the inspiration for this program, I think it was years of watching my kids on the spectrum, but there was one student in particular that when I was approached about could I use a grant, that immediately came to mind. I do have permission to use the students' first names. So the first student that benefited from this program, his name was Rutger. He was academically very bright, super bright, but parents were struggling. Rutger needed a ton of mentoring in terms of learning strategies. So there were these constant battles at home about whether he had homework, whether he should be reviewing all the skills that are needed in order to be successful. He would go home with, I have nothing. And of course, very supportive parents who were trying to trying to make him successful, but were really struggling. So the good news, so this is where the inspiration came from. Rutger successfully completed high school with physics and chem, and Rutger went on to post-secondary education and has done extremely well. But I really do believe that 3 years of this program really changed how he approached high school. So my vision for the program was, what areas are my students on the spectrum struggling in? And of course, not just my students on the spectrum, but even more so, organization was super tough for them. Time management is always really hard. Lots of times processing speed. My students are able to handle the curriculum, but sometimes it just moves too fast. Lots of times I was often dealing with the dilemma of my students on the spectrum had, this is what I do at home, and this is what I do at school, and they did not see the connection that that both of those files needed to work together. So what I wanted to do was create a new file on how to be successful in high school. Increased independence is huge. I often say that 3 years goes very quickly, and how am I going to have my students ready for success beyond high school, not just in high school? The amount of success in this program, I could go on and tell stories of kids who when I meet them in grade 9, before they enter my 10 to 12 high school, would say, I don't do homework. The parents, I've never done homework. School is for school, home is for home. On top of our program, we've also had great success when there is a behavioral consultant also involved in coordinating the program with some of my really difficult students. So when I had the idea of running a after-school program, my first job was to make sure that the school was going to be okay with letting me use a location. And of course, it was greatly, yes, of course, go ahead, it's all yours. So there's no charge for facilities. Then I needed to find, next thing was to find someone who could, who I thought could handle this program. I'm usually here, but not always. So I advertised. So I advertised in our school division for this position. I am blessed that the supervisor of this profession is an extremely talented and gifted young lady. She has been an educational assistant of mine for probably 20 years, getting close to 20 years. She's also extremely intelligent, so she is able to handle the curriculum of whatever subjects the students come with needing support. She also has the gift of communication. So my staff love her. So she's able to communicate with them, and she's also able to communicate very effectively with parents. So how it works is that in the fall, all our students on the spectrum are invited to come to after school club, they call it. When I started, I didn't realize the impact that it would have on some of the students. It was like they were so excited because some of these kids don't belong to any extracurricular. So they were so excited to say that they had to stay after school and they had to be picked up, some of which had never happened in their lives. So it was very cute for how proud they were that they too were hanging out in high school after hours. So the students are invited, and I usually inform the parents the year before, so parents are very supportive. And so the students come after school. The supervisor has the students' timetables, knows which teachers she's communicating with, and they come. The supervisor has access to the students' marks, so she can look up and see their grade book to see if they've missed anything, if there's an exam coming. Most of our teachers have a Google Classroom, so she's also invited to those classrooms and is able to print off notes if they're missing, to watch podcasts with the students, so basically she's kind of treated like a second parent here. So she's got her students. Another cool thing is my department, I was blessed to be able to design it. So my office is kind of in the center, and I have 6 offices surrounding mine. So the students that come to Homework Club are always very anxious to pick their office. So they come and they go to their office because the the other educational assistants are gone for the day. And they have choice in what they're going to work on for their hour, but sometimes it's highly encouraged based on feedback that we've received from either classroom teachers or parents as to what really needs to be done. And then I think key to this program is that after the students leave, is that the supervisor sends a personal email home, CC'd to the parents about what they did, what she sees coming up, and what the parents can continue to support their children with at home. So like I said, the unique space with this atmosphere of their own office is pretty cool. And they always go to the same one. Like they kind of pick their one at the beginning of the year and they like to go there. Of course, it's already been a long day. So my big fear was that, is this really going to work, that I'm extending their day? So we start, they come right after school, chat with their friends, come in, and then we do provide nutritious snacks. We ask them what they would like, and as long as it's got some nutrition in it, then it's provided. We really try to encourage that beginning time as a bit of fellowship time, getting them to know the rest of the students in the program. Some of my teachers stop by, the educational assistants stop by, and we just kind of have a little informal chat time, which is often a skill that many of my students also need to develop. There's also, depending on students in years past, there has also been a social component that I will talk about in the next slide. Throughout the 4 years, very different students have come and went. And one year I had some students who parents had indicated that they were really struggling with getting their students to do something outside of the home. So even coming to the after school program was a big jump, was a big leap, but they were really being successful in that. So by late fall, I had a couple parents saying, can you encourage them to do something outside school? The particular group was not too interested in doing anything independently, so we also added a social club. So things like that, 6 of us went to a hockey game. One day just after the program, we walked and went out for pizza. Just little things. I try to get the kids that attend this program to also do some volunteering. I run a volunteer program at Holy Trinity, so I would often invite them to come. They develop this unbelievable relationship with each other, but the greatest relationship is with the supervisor. She is not only their after school support program, but she really becomes an extra lifeline for them while at school. They come here all the time looking for her, asking little things, calculators run out of batteries, whatever it might be. They just know that on top of myself and their teachers, that there's an extra person in this building that will do anything for them. So it's been, and even watching her develop social skills by interacting with them, and as simple as teaching them to ask her about her life and it not just being about their lives. The growth in that over 3 years is something that I am very proud of due to the program, and I don't think we would have it if she didn't have this allotted individual time after school. Oops. Okay, so I think I went through this, but this is just the quick and dirty. Here's what happens. They have a short break, we chat, they settle in. Supervisor reviews the homework. Students help set the priorities. They start to work. Sometimes they eat before, sometimes they eat while they're working. And the students begin working independently. So there might be sometimes 3, sometimes 5, but the students, this is a huge time to develop independence. So she's coming in and out and setting timelines and really trying to get them to realize that they are very capable of handling stuff independently. So of course this varies with the age of the student and the individual student, but that's the goal, is that we can set timers, we can set priorities, we can break assignments down, and they realize that they can be successful independently, which leads to them being successful when they go home. And before anybody leaves, the supervisor goes around and says, okay, it's a great day when the supervisor can send out an email going, everything is done. They don't have to do anything tonight. That sometimes might happen at the beginning of the semesters or maybe even grade 10. But as the students progress through, there's usually additional review or homework to complete when they leave, but they're leaving here with the skills that they can complete it independently. Once again, the communication is, I think, key. They making the students feel that they have a say, that they're part of it, that instead of it just being an email home to mom from a teacher that, or a homework book that they might have had in elementary school, we really encourage the parent to pretend that they don't know what they have for homework when they get there, and for the student to tell the parent and to inform the parent. Like I said, to watch the growth over 3 years from many students, and that the growth in, like, students who have come have said, I don't do homework. That is, school is for schoolwork, home is for home. I have many, and I didn't put them up, but every year we ask our parents to evaluate the program and to give feedback, and we just get these overwhelming letters of gratitude saying how we've actually benefited the whole family, because all the focus, if there's more than one child in the family, is no longer geared to one child. There again, a decrease in conflict, and even the anxiety of the parents that, will my child actually graduate? Will they actually be able to be successful in high school? High school is a big leap. We don't have homerooms anymore. My students don't have one-on-one educational assistants following them around from class to class. So it's a huge leap for parents as well as students. So the communication and the ability for them to communicate freely and openly with us is has been, I believe, the key success to one of the key successes to this program. I don't know if I'd call these non-academic, but the non-academic benefits, as we call them, would be this in sense of personal responsibility and independence, and all the skills that you need to be successful past high school, planning and organization and time management and breaking things down. And then let's not forget the social piece that of the positive adult relationships and positive student relationships. And like I said, I love when my teachers stop by. They know the program happens and they know which of their students, and they'll stop by. So it's just that increased one-on-one time of people encouraging and supporting and telling them that they can do this. We have a very high graduation rate at Holy Trinity Academy. Our students on the spectrum graduate in 31 years of teaching. Well, they all haven't been in high school. So since 1999, when I began working in high school, there has only been 2 students on the spectrum that have not graduated, and they were very severe students on the spectrum who were nonverbal and had other issues. But other than that, our students graduate, our students have the ability to go on to post-secondary, our students are supported in whatever areas that they wish or their parents wish past this building. Like I said earlier, I always say to parents, 3 years is going to go by very, very quickly. And so we need to be start working immediately to ensure that they are successful and that there's a plan in place once they are no longer in high school. I don't know if it will be able to be added, but I did do a video clip where I'm hoping it can be attached, where parents were interviewed and students were interviewed about the benefits of the program, and I'm hoping it can be attached to this presentation when it's finished. I can't say enough about parental enthusiasm for the program. At one point there was a semester where I wasn't sure if the program was going to be running, and I had very anxious parents who were more than overjoyed. I also think that watching the academics, the improvement in academic results is a huge benefit from a student who at one point had 32% in his grade 10 science, only because he wasn't handing stuff in, wasn't reviewing, therefore couldn't do well on his exams because he hadn't done the material, to graduating with a mark over 80% in both chemistry 30 and physics 30 at a grade 12 level. So the gains have been are too hard to measure, but without a doubt, I believe that by giving these kids, it's so little, it's only 2 hours a week, but it has made such a difference in their lives and in the lives of those families. So